How to find a job in Vietnam as an English teacher. Hello everyone, here I want to give some recommendations and share my personal experience on how to find a job teaching English in Vietnam. It's not too hard once you know where to look and what to do. So let's get started. Searching for job opportunities. There are different ways to find a job, but the most popular way is to use Facebook. There are many Facebook groups where many agencies and schools are looking for English teachers. So you just have to search for those groups. And for example, you can use ESL teaching jobs in Vietnam as a sentence to search for teaching groups, right? It's pretty obvious. And from there are two options. You either can upload your CV with some pictures and some small text stating what you want and who you are, or you can apply for the existing vacancies that have been posted by agencies or schools. If you decide to post your CV and introduce yourself, make sure you have a good photo. What does it mean? I've seen a lot of crazy posts about people who are looking for jobs in Vietnam and they post their photos. Like I saw a man posting a photo of him smoking weed at someone's party. I mean, come on, it's not serious. You cannot do that. Obviously, it has to be professional. You have to wear formal clothes and you have to smile and, just show yourself in the best way possible. Don't do any stupid things, right? We should include our CV, right? So the post will have three parts: your CV, your picture, and a small introduction. An introduction might copy some information from the CV and your desire to look for a job, maybe some preferences such as the location or teaching experience or your teaching style, or why the schools and agencies why they should hire you, right? And when it comes to CV, please make sure that it's relevant to the profession, right? So if you write down that you've been working as a manager, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, it has to be relevant. If you don't have any formal experience, at least you know that in order to work legally in Vietnam, you need the ESL certificate, right? TEFL certificate. And to get TEFL certificate, you have to get some practice. And again, from there, you can just say that, okay, I got my certificate, and during the process of getting it, I had to go through practice, and that's what I did. And so I have experience and I have education, right? So you can play with that this way. So how to make your profile stand out? Let's summarize. You should use a professional photo. You should focus that your CV is connected and relevant, connected to teaching and relevant to teaching, right? It means education, it means experience. You must include your certificates if you have any. You need to highlight skills that are relevant to teaching, such as communication, leadership, patience, organizational skills, right? And if you want to mention not relevant information, it's not relevant to teaching, right? You just keep it very brief. You don't need to focus too much on this because nobody is going to pay attention to it anyway. And then you might get a job interview. So congratulations, you have a job interview. Again, basic common things that we should focus on, right? Dress well. You don't have to be wearing a suit, right? But don't wear any tracksuit as if you are going to for a run, something like this, right? Be positive, be friendly, show enthusiasm, be polite, be respectful, show interest in Vietnamese culture. Maybe you can say hello in Vietnamese, right? And if they ask you why do you want to stay in Vietnam, then you can say, because I like the culture, because I want to interact with locals, right? This is something that will give you extra points. Speak slowly and clearly, right? If you're a native English speaker, this is not going to help you if you speak with the same speed as you do at home, right? You have to speak slower and clearer. And you need to emphasize your passion for teaching, that you love kids, that you want to interact with them, you want to help them. And I think that's the most important thing, that you should demonstrate your, let's call it, emotionness, that you're very emotional about teaching in a good way, you know, that you are kind of excited about being part of Vietnam and experience the culture, the food, the interaction with locals. This is very valuable in Vietnam, right? So there are two types of employers in Vietnam. There are direct employers and there are agencies. I wouldn't recommend that one is better than the other, but I want to list some of the advantages and disadvantages. I think it's easier. So let's start with direct, working directly with schools. Obviously, if you're qualified to work for an international school, maybe you should go for it, because it's like it's probably the best way to work as an ESL teacher. You get many benefits, like in similar benefits like in the Western world. Otherwise, if it's an agency if it's a training center and you work directly with them, you'll probably get a higher salary, and you'll be able to directly communicate with the school's management, and it will be maybe a bit easier to build relationships since you work directly with them and they have to deal with you directly, right? But as a disadvantage, they might have problems assisting you with visa, because they might not know how to do it. So they'll have to find an external agency, and you'll have to interact with them as well, right? Yeah. And when you work with agencies, there are some advantages that I personally experienced, because I worked for an agency and I worked for a direct training center. So when it comes to agencies, visa support, they usually help you. They tell you exactly what documents you need to give them, how to legalize them, when to legalize them, if there are any ways to make it simpler, you know. They offer different types of jobs. They may offer part-time jobs. They may offer different types of schedule, right? And as a disadvantage, you probably won't be able to work for any other agencies or other schools. You'll have to interact only with them. So single employer, let's call it. And the salary will be lower, obviously, because they take part of it. And again, they will be the middleman between you and the school you'll be working in. It means that maybe there will be less direct communication between you and the school. Yeah, these are the disadvantages. Now it's time to prepare for a demo class, because most of the employers request you to show a demo class to them, and based on the results, they will either offer you a job or politely decline your CV and your position. So I will go over just general tips that are quite useful though. So you need to obviously plan your lesson, and doesn't matter where you teach, you have to engage the students, right? And the way to engage the students is you have to make the class interactive and fun. So it means that you need to use gestures, expressions, right? You need to speak with a certain tone. Aside from that, you need to prepare games and activities, again, that are interactive. You are going to teach, give a class in a kindergarten using flashcards, most likely. So the structure will go like this. You sing up a warm-up song, maybe you can give them high five, and just kind of get the feeling of who they are, right? And for them the same, to get to know each other. And then you'll demonstrate the flashcards, and then you'll play some games. And again, the most likely the school management or agencies, they will focus on how kids are enjoying during the lesson, right? This is the most important thing, how emotional they are, what kind of feedback they are giving as a result of your teaching. And when it comes to public schools, it's going to be probably a page of a book that they use. And the same thing, you're gonna work with a board probably, or with a TV, I have no idea. But you have to introduce games. You have to play games. So they have the theory part. Anything we do, right? We firstly have the theory, understanding, and then we have the practice part. And so the practice part and the theory part, it has to have something interactive and something playful in them. And if you can engage the students, if they can, you can compare it to like a football match, right? So when the fans are shouting and they're noisy and they're excited about something that is happening, you need to get the same kind of feedback from your students, then you're successful. As a conclusion, finding a job as an ESL teacher in Vietnam is totally achievable. It's better if you know how to approach it. So use Facebook groups to find opportunities, present yourself professionally, and be prepared to show your teaching skills. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching and have a good day.